Hi, chat. Good evening. It is Wednesday. Holy cow, it's already Wednesday. This has been a hell of a week. I had a good day today. I don't know about you, not even about this topic, but just in general, it was a good day. Had some stuff we were working out in court. We were able to work out a resolution. It seems like it's going to work. You know what? That's never a bad day when you can say, we've kind of worked it out. We didn't have to force the issue or make a judge or a magistrate decide for us. And then also just we had some good news today. We got a ruling we were hoping for. And yeah, some good news all around. Good news all around. So, yeah, been a fun day. So welcome everybody. Welcome to everybody here. My name is Sean, also known as Potentially Criminal. I am an attorney in the Cleveland area, and tonight we're going to be talking about the pardons that President Trump has issued, and I guess just what's happened since then. Mainly listening to the federal judiciary ree and squeal like the bitches they are. I mean, apparently these judges don't understand the phrase of just put the fries in the fucking bag. That's all you got to do. But no, they gotta tell us what they think. And you know what? Oh, I forgot something's missing. I gotta fix that. Give me 1 second, chat. Hold on. All right, we're back. Chat had to get that fixed. So, you know how it should. Lengthy business this is. Yeah, the ceiling cats. No. Oh. Let me see here. What are you guys saying in the comments below? Hold on here. Is there a All right. So, yeah, I've heard an issue and I couldn't find it, but somebody was saying there was an issue with one of the judges may have refused to do a dismissal with prejudice. And I don't know. I couldn't find the case. I heard people talking about it. So I apologize in the meantime if I don't have it. So if you guys happen to know which case it is, I'd be happy to take a look at it. We can get to it tonight and we will do there. Oh, Kurt, you covered that one? Oh, okay. I apologize. I guess I didn't see that earlier. If you guys want, it's the one Kurt just streamed. I can get it for you. Yeah, if you could, Luke, I would appreciate it. So we'll do that one too. All right, guys. So tonight we are, as I said, though, I'm an attorney here in Ohio. We are live tonight on Rumble. We are live tonight on Twitter. And also, last but not least, here on YouTube. So let's get started. So if you guys remember, there was this thing that occurred in November. And this guy named Donald Trump was running for this thing called the presidency, and he won. He won very effectively, and got what he got. Oh, hold on here. What is this? Okay. Which case is this here in chat? Hold on, let me see. All right. Okay, I'll grab that one up. Hold on here. Chat. But yes, anyway, Trump won. And hold on, chat. Okay, there we go. See, that's one thing since, I can sometimes type without looking around. So here we go, chat. Oh, I do have it. Perfect. Wait, is this one of the ones in my stack? Oh, I already have this one. Oh, okay, cool. So, yeah. So anyways, here we go, chat. So one of Trump's promises was to pardon all the January 6ers. And I will admit, I was not believing he was going to do that. I didn't think it was going to happen. I wasn't expecting it. And, yeah, it's just, I mean, we knew it wasn't going to happen. Trump has been great about promising the world and then nothing happens. You know what? But I still voted for him anyway, just to see the man light the world on fire and see people lose their minds. Sometimes that's good enough. The reeing and the screaming and the pissing and shitting of pants is enough for me, But day one, he showed up. And before we get too far, Kurt, I see you're here. Hello, Kurt. Hello, all the uncivilians. Thank you for stopping by. We're going to get into this, chat. We are going to get into this now. So his first day, January 20th, on the evening of that day, the Emperor of Mankind and the Emperor of our hearts. You thought I was going to do that. The Emperor of our hearts, Donald John Trump, reascended to the golden throne in the house of purity, the White House, the whitest house in all of the land. And he signed a pardon and a commutation. And here we go, chat. Here we go. Because if you haven't seen it, we covered it on Monday night when I was on the local stream. But here it is, chat. Here is the actual language of it. And we have it. By the President of the United States of America, a proclamation. And he says, this proclamation ends a grave national injustice that has been perpetrated upon the American people over the last 4 years. It begins a process of national reconciliation. Yes. We're coming together, chat. We're coming together. You know, that's what we're doing here. You know, or it could be like awkward turtle. We're coming together. So, acting pursuant to the grant of authority in Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution of these United States. Yes, the pardon power is in Article 2. It is a power reserved for the presidency. We're going to get to that in a moment, chat. We're going to get to that. So he says, I do hereby commute the sentences of the following individuals. Notice a commutation does not mean a pardon. A commutation is you're done. Of the following individuals convicted of offenses related to events that occurred at or near the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, 2 times served as of January 20th, 2025. So, for example, Stuart Rhodes, one of the Oath Keepers, got sentenced to 20 years in prison. He's out. Done today. His sentence is over. No more sentence, no more supervision. He's done. So we have multiple people here. Their names you've heard of before. And then they also talk about the War Boys. Ethan Nordine, Joseph Biggs, Zachary Rail, Dominic Pizzola, Jeremy Bertino. You know, they're Proud Boys. The Proud Boys did nothing wrong. They're just proud Western chauvinists who refuse to apologize for creating the modern world. So they were all commuted. He says, I grant a full, complete, and unconditional pardon. Because remember, chat, a pardon can be limited in scope, and there can be conditions on the pardon. So, for example, Trump could say in a pardon, you have to show up and ride a unicycle in front of the Lincoln Memorial for 30 seconds, or you don't get the pardon. If you can't do it, you don't get the pardon. He could say you have to show up on the 4th of July this coming year, dressed as a clown. If you don't do it, you don't get the pardon. There are all kinds of issues with that. But this is an unconditional pardon. An unconditional pardon, chat. An unconditional pardon. And what this means is that there are no limits. There are no limits to this. And this is we're gonna get to what this actually means, because there's this language is kind of wide sweeping. To all other individuals convicted of offenses related to events that occurred at or near the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. So all other individuals. Okay. So it says the Attorney General everybody else that was convicted has a full and unconditional pardon. These guys get commutations. Better than a stick in the eye. And as Trump said, they might go back and determine who gets a pardon later. Some of them can get pardons. You can always upgrade it. It says, then the Attorney General shall administer and effectuate the immediate issuance of certificates of pardon to all individuals described in Section B above, and shall ensure that all individuals convicted of offenses related to events that occurred near the U.S. Capitol who are currently being held in prison are released immediately. Now, there have been issues with that. Some of them haven't been released right away, or the prisons are saying, sorry, we've only got one guy. We can only do it one at a time. The phone calls were made and things were unfucked very quickly. Almost everybody's been released at this point. The Bureau of Prisons shall immediately implement all instructions from the Department of Justice regarding this directive. And here's the neat thing. If they fuck around, Trump is their boss. They are an executive agency. So there ain't a whole lot of fucking around that happens. He then did say, I further direct the Attorney General to pursue dismissal with prejudice. Remember, chat, with prejudice means it's done. It ain't ever coming back. To the government of all pending indictments against individuals for their conduct related to events at or near the Capitol. The Bureau of Prisons shall immediately implement all instructions from the Department of Justice regarding this directive. So there are multiple people who are currently awaiting trial. And one of them in particular, a friend of the show, Don the Pleb. You also may know him from Future Conflicts, guys. Don was currently awaiting trial. He's done. Case dismissed. He's out. He's out. It's done. It's over. So that's it, chat. That's it for somebody like Don. It's Dunsky. So, and if you guys happen to, thank God Don didn't need to have to fight anymore. If you guys do happen to see Don over on Future Conflict or over on Twitter, give him a thank. Tell him like we're happy for you. Tell him a congrats because yeah, Don's out, baby. He's out. He's back. We are so back, chat. Yes. So from here, this is it. This is the pardon, chat. And he says, I have here set my hand to this 20th day of January in the year of our Lord. Yes, because Christ is King, 2025. And of the independence of the United States of America, the 249th. Oh, yeah. That's right. Our milestone, 250 years. It's coming up. It's coming up. So there we go, chat. That is the totality of the pardon. Now, this is very important because people are saying, well, can you, and we talked about this before, blanket pardons, how does all that work? Because the Constitution allows for it. I know other people out there disagree, but really, guys, the pardon power is very simple. It comes from Article 2, Section 2, Clause 1. And it says the president shall be, obviously part of this matters. The president shall be the commander-in-chief of the Army and the Navy of the United States. And he says that the militia of the several states when called in actual service of the United States. He says he may require the opinion in writing of the principal officer in each of the executive departments upon any subject relating to the duties of their offices. Okay, all that's great. We don't really care about that. That's the last part. And he shall have the power to grant reprieves. And a reprieve would be somebody who's going to be executed. He can grant a reprieve, saying that's not happening anymore. And pardons for offenses against the United States, except in cases of impeachment. Now, guys, we will talk about Biden's pardons tomorrow. But, guys, that's the limit on the pardon of the pardon power. Only cases of impeachment cannot be pardoned because they're not criminal. That's it. That is it. It is a plenary power. People, and that's the thing I think people don't want to understand. People don't think plenary powers be like they is, but they do. It's a power for offenses against the United States. It doesn't say charged. It doesn't say convicted. It doesn't say the government has to know about them or discover them at the time. It's for offenses against the United States. If I steal a Javelin missile from the government today and they don't find out about it for 15 years, is it only stolen when when they find me and they realize it's gone? No, it's still stolen. I still broke the law. I broke the law on whatever date I did it. So this idea of, it doesn't count for this. No, It does. You can pardon people before they're convicted. You can pardon people before they're charged. You can pardon people for a set amount of time, going back to January 1st of 2014, all the way to January 1st today of this year. You can do it that way. It's not impermissible. You could do it for classes of people like we saw with the Trump pardon. You know, the draft dodgers in the Civil War, that was the same way. We saw that. Like Nixon got a blanket pardon. There have been all kinds of pardons issued before. So that's how this works. It's basically unlimited scope. And somebody's asking a very important question that I'm going to get to here. Who does this cover right now? Who does this cover right now? You know, who does this cover? Who does this cover? Well, it covers, you know, everyone. It covers everyone. Everyone! Yes, everyone! Everyone is covered. And what is that? What do I mean by everybody? I mean every fucking buddy, chat. I mean the lectern guy. He's covered by this. I mean the Q Shaman is covered by this. Q Shaman has stated, I'm out buying guns right now because the pardon eliminates your punishment consequences. It doesn't remove the conviction. That's a separate matter. But it removes all punishments and all issues attached to that punishment and conviction. So the idea that he was a felon and he's, you know, he couldn't buy a firearm. He can buy one now. There are literally all of the issues have been wiped clean. Now, but that said, let's say the Q Shaman tried to go to whatever country. Other countries could bar him entry because they still say it's a conviction. It's still a conviction. So these people are getting out, and there's still more people. There are still more people. Owen Schroyer, he's done. He had problems. But it also covers all kinds of people we necessarily weren't intending it to be for. So, for example, you know, you guys may not like him. Baked Alaska got a pardon. He said everybody else. So does that mean, yes, that means our boy Nick Fuentes, the glowy himself. He's got a pardon. He's done. He's done. Oh. And then, yes, as Bad Weather Biker, you brought up your boy Ray Epps. He gets a pardon. Yes. It includes Ray Epps. He was convicted for offenses on January 6th. He gets a pardon. So everybody's going to get a pardon. Mike L says this is a trick. You showed 3 glowies. Yes, well. Yes, I know I showed 3 glowies, but I repeat myself. Oh. So there you go with that, chat. Those are some of the people who are getting out of this. Now, some people have asked a question. Can the pardon be later revoked? Nope. It's like a bullet shot out of a gun. It's gone. It's gone. It ain't ever coming back. Can't recall it. Once it's accepted, it's done. You can't take it away. It's a permanent thing. Now, guys, the pardon itself is a political power the president has. The president's always had this ability. It's set up so the president could, you know, extend an act of mercy because the king could pardon somebody. The king could excuse you of all crime for whatever reason. And as a sovereign, you know, the president operating in that situation has that right. Now, typically, you would want to pardon people who you think were going to be subject to unfair conduct or unfair treatment, or they maybe didn't do it. I mean, who knows? Or you think people have been prosecuted and persecuted unfairly, or to protect that from even happening. You see with Joe Biden, when he talks about what happened with Hunter and he talks about the other pardons he granted, he was worried about political payback and he didn't think it was fair. Now, we could we'll talk about that tomorrow, but those are reasons and they exist for those reasons. But in this case, Trump kind of did the scattergun approach, and Trump said, as according to some sources, said, fuck it, pardon them all. There was some lead up. Trump had his staffers organizing people in the groups, but apparently at some point, Trump just said, fuck it, and pardoned everybody. So that's why it's so wide sweeping. And there's people we don't like getting away with stuff here. There's people we don't like getting away with stuff. So yeah, it does suck. It does suck in that regard, but hey, yeah, that's it. The mundane mad approach to pardoning. Yes. The Bill O'Reilly approach to pardoning. Fuck it. We'll do it live. So, yes. That is, yes. Washington pardoned those poor farmers. Yes, he did a blanket pardon during the Whiskey Rebellion in the aftermath of it. I am the Princess said I could see him saying that. Yes. Yes. Patty B said she should have looked at individual cases. Yeah. But didn't happen that way. Ambrose is saying, could they be charged with high treason if it's considered to have taken place after the pardon? Oh, yes. So if they did crimes that are not related to or in conjunction with January 6th, they could be charged with it. But for any and all offenses on January 6th, it's done. Anything tied to that, it's over. So let's say, 6 months later, the Oath Keepers hatched another plan. That would be independent of January 6th, and they would be on the hook for that. So it's everything related to January 6th is pretty much off the table here. So if that's what you're getting, and I hope that's what you're getting at there. Fractal Fair is saying even the snitches got pardoned. Yeah, but you know what? They won't escape God's justice, and everybody will know that they're scumbags. Everybody will know that they're scumbags. So Ray Epps has his pardon. I'd love to see Ray Epps refuse it if he's a man of principle. Let's see him refuse it. We haven't heard about him doing that, yes. Nick Kreuzer, you're saying, was there a question here? Ted KV says commutation clears the record and the punishment. No, the pardon clears the record. The commutation is just commutating the sentence from 20 years in prison to you're out and you no longer have to serve the rest of it. Commutation doesn't relieve you of the punishments and obligations a conviction carries with it. The pardon does that. Now, there might be a state or two where up in Canada that means a different thing, but typically, if somebody gets a commuted sentence, it just means a sentence was changed, not that the punishment to that sentence was changed. Now, let's see here. There are other people who got a pardon as well, and one of them was the Ross Ulbricht, the founder of the Silk Road. He has been pardoned. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe what you hear about him. Either way, he's been pardoned. And there's a photo of him out there. He did receive a full and unconditional pardon from Trump. He's been in prison for a while now. He got a life sentence, but he's been in prison for quite a while at this point now. And yes, I will say for Trump, he upheld his promise. And Ross Ulbricht's basically been in custody and in prison since 2013. And in 2015, he received 2 life terms plus 40 years. So, yeah, he's out now, chat. He is out. He is a free man. There are some, the family is cheering him on. Everybody's happy that he's out. So that's the other guy who got out. And his pardon was simply, his was by himself. And if you guys haven't seen the picture of Ross Ulbricht, here he is walking around, walking his way out of prison. He's still in his prison gear. So, yeah, but he is a free man now, so he gets out. He gets out. Yes, it was 2 life sentences plus 40 years. And yes, there is a joke, and I posted this when I saw it. The problem for Ross now is the scariest thing for him is he is now sentenced to 20 years of appearing on Libertarian podcast. And honestly, I think he'd be begging for prison at that point because I would be begging for prison. Now, what did this give everybody when we looked further into what happened here? Well, there are some people who were released. And there's some inspiring stuff out there. One of the first things that happened was a guy whose case was done. You got to see, and this is something I would never do unless you have, permission from your attorney to do this. But this is a guy who is celebrating by cutting his ankle monitor off. He's under supervision from the government. And as he's cutting it off, now here's the thing: you have to be very careful because you might not be on supervision anymore, but that's damaging property. So you could get charged with damaging property unless you're told to go ahead and cut it off. I would never recommend doing this on your own. This is a little bit out there, but here we go. So this guy's out and about at a restaurant.
Free at last. I feel justice was prevailed today. And like I kept saying from the very beginning, it was a two-tier justice system under the Biden administration. He pardoned his own son. I just walked in the Capitol to peacefully protest. I'm not charged with violence. I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't destroy property. So therefore, yes, it's very accurate what he just did today as far as giving us that full pardon. So I agree with the 100%, obviously, and happy about this and ready to get on with my life.
So there you go. That's one of them. And then there was another one, and this is of a bunch of January 6th guys getting released. And this is pretty good. They're getting released from a federal facility down in Florida. Here you go.
Let's go! Let's go! Keep it down! Let's go, Gilbert! Brother! Oh, yeah! Let's go! Yeah! Welcome home, heroes! Welcome home! Let's go! They're out! Promises made, promises kept.
So there you go, guys. A bunch of people are getting released. Oh. Ellie's saying, how's this shit on TikTok? Because TikTok's not canceled. Trump has given him like a reprieve. See? We're going to use the reprieving power. Trump said, I'm not going to execute you. I give you time to survive. So that's why. Fatty Caddy's saying, Sean, could a president pardon any and all crimes past? Yes. Literally, you could get I could write a pardon today saying, I hereby pardon Fatty if I was president. I hereby pardon Fatty Caddy for all crimes committed from today, from whatever day your birth was until today. And that would be valid. Now, the issue about committing crimes in the future, that's not something the courts would probably ever uphold. The idea you've basically been given a license to destroy or a license to kill, basically. Now, if you've watched Clear and Present Danger, and the guy Ritter pulls his like presidential finding out that authorizes him to do any and all actions necessary to fight the cartels which have been designated a terrorist and clear and present danger of the United States of America. That whole thing is different. That's kind of like that stuff really doesn't exist. But no, you can't really get a pardon to like go forth and seek havoc. Like Trump couldn't issue a pardon tomorrow. Like, go get them, boys. Go rope all these motherfuckers. If you think they deserve a roping, go get them. He can't do that. He can't do that. As much as some of you might like for that to happen, he cannot do that, at least for right now. He can't do that. Maybe in the future, just not now. Shh, 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 shh. Don't say it out loud. 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 Kurt Boss says, I want a pardon. Fuck it. Well, yeah. Johnny Arcade says, deputize me now. And S. Holmes says, issue daily pardons. Trump could do that. And here's the thing. Some of you guys might say, well, wouldn't that be an abuse of the system? Yes. And if the House felt it was getting out of hand, they have a check and they have a check on that system. They can impeach him. So there is, you guys remember, it's checks and balances. If the House doesn't like what's going on, they could impeach him. They could stop him. There are ways around these things like that. It's back and forth, back and forth. So why is it not a plenary power? It is a plenary power. I just don't think you're ever going to get a court to say, yes, the president can give you a pardon that allows you to go forth and do whatever the fuck you want. It's never going to happen. So did Ross get a pardon or a commutation? He got a full and unconditional pardon. He's completely done. He's completely done. He's completely done, chat. He's completely done. Oh. Just causes the Laken Riley Act passed too. We are so back. Wow, it's been a good day today. So we got a couple other comments here we need to take care of. Patricia Bradshaw. It's been a member for 30 months. That's thank you, Patricia. I appreciate that. That's pretty cool. We're coming up on the it's 2025. I started doing this really at the beginning of 2022. It's been 3 fucking years. Wow. So Patricia, thank you for being here. I appreciate your support really all this time. And any of you out there, I appreciate all your support. But like I said, it's just seeing numbers like that. It's really, really, really humbling. It's really humbling. So Rocco's Life says Sean isn't live on VK. Sad. Yeah. my please accept my apologies, Tavares. Please accept them. Oh. Brad, I think we already asked that. Yeah. Just causes we are so back. Oh, we are so back, chat. We are so back. Nate Matthews says free and clear, boy. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Trump should declare January 6th a holiday now. Porcelain Thunder says the 250th anniversary, just like the price of cans at Stoney's on Thursdays. I know. It's like it's like Cheeto has thought about that and the gods have shown upon him. And oh my God. Oh, July 4th's a Friday, chat. No. They almost had it. It would have been like the trifecta. It would have been the trifecta, chat. Analytical T says, with this, can you be pardoned from court martials? Yes. Yeah. The president is the commander-in-chief of the military, and you can be fully and unconditionally pardoned. You can have a commutation. So guys sitting in Leavenworth, they can be pardoned. They can be commuted. People who have been since dishonorably discharged, they could be pardoned, and then they could try to get their discharge upgraded. That's more of an administrative issue. But you can be, the president can pardon. He could pardon Khalid Sheikh Mohammed if he wanted to. I don't think there's anything to stop him. Remember, it's a plenary power, and he's accused of committing offenses against the United States. So, yes, he would have that authority. He is the commander-in-chief. And guess who the military works for? So with those comments out of the way, chat, we should talk about our sponsors real quick tonight. We have a couple of our sponsors. TheDragonsTreasure.com. That's right, chat, TheDragonsTreasure.com. A haven for tea and anime lovers. Use the code CRIMINAL, and you can get 10% off your coffees, teas, or soaps over at TheDragonsTreasure.com. Help out the tea man. Buy his tea, chat. Buy his tea. Then we also have MAF-arms.com, chat, MAF-arms.com. You guys know him as Matt from Floodbusters. Well, remember, Southern Florida's premier wind chime dealer. They're still doing the Yuletide yard sale. You can use the promo code POCCRIM, 10% off store-wide on your wind chime accessories, chat. And also, as I mentioned, we've got some stuff to talk about in his case coming up. We're going to see if he's available this weekend, see if he can talk about it. So that's MAF-arms.com, guys. Use the promo code POCCRIM. And then last but not least, chat, Stoney's Bar and Grill at 158 East Broadway Street in Rockville, Minnesota, chat. Yes, Stoney's is the place to go. I don't know how many more times I have to tell you this, chat, but it is the place to go. It's open now, chat. They are open. It's happy hour. I don't know what else to tell you guys. It's happy hour right now. They are open till midnight tonight. Go over there, get tore up, raise one up for the January Sixers, raise one up for Ross Ulbricht, raise one up for the new golden age of America. Whatever you want to toast one to, do that. And just so you guys know, Stoney's is making sure you guys know it's happy hour from 4 to 7 today. And then February 9th, starting at 6 p.m., they're going to have a Super Bowl party. They say it's a Super Bowl party, but it's not for football. It's actually, Aaron didn't want me to talk about this, but back by popular demand, there's going to be the finals for the Naked Twister. It's going to be like Naked Twister All-Stars. Aaron's going to be there. Aaron's going to MC. We don't think he's going to participate. He hasn't confirmed that yet, but it's going to be Naked Twister All-Stars. All the greats are coming out. So if you guys want to go there and see it, they will be on the patio. They will have the heaters going, so there's not too much chafing and poking and too much shrinkage. They will be there, and it will be the Naked Twister Super Bowl. February 9th at 6 p.m. out on the patio. That's, guys, just keep that in mind. And remember, it's at Stoney's, celebrating 30 years as Minnesota's premier biker bar. Ainsley says, I knew it. He couldn't stay away long. Well, it's like The Godfather. It's like, just as I get out, they pull me back in. Although really Aaron's like, well, he's like, I can't quit. He stared at the Twister sitting up in the closet of his bedroom. He's like, I can't quit you. Oh, they cover the Matt and KY jelly for the finals. I mean, maybe not. I mean, maybe they're not going to. They're going to just make everybody like take advantage of it getting a little cold and a little sticky out there already. Sean Pop says, I thought there was a joke about Aaron Himmel with the Stoney's ad. Well, kind of. The fact I do, it's a bit of the joke there. Oh, pull me back in and out and in and out as his ass is poured out. Oh yeah. Oh yes, chat. So that's kind of where we are things here. What else? We need to cover some more of this here. If you guys were not aware, Enrique Tarrio actually received a full pardon. He got pardoned. He got released from prison. And there is some footage of him talking. He did give an interview.
The person that keeps his promises, I knew, but I wasn't 100% sure, but I know the president keeps his promises and I have faith in him.
Were you surprised it went as far as it did?
No, absolutely not. I think the miscarriage of justice that happened in these cases, regardless if somebody agrees with putting their hands on a police officer or whatnot, how the process worked out was unfair. If you want to have a fair trial, take it outside of DC. DC voted 93% for Biden. So they needed a fair trial. So if we would have gotten a fair trial, I think I wouldn't be in a position where I needed a pardon.
So, and that's fair. And if you guys follow Shipwreck Cooler on Twitter, he talked about this, that if they had tried these cases like in West Virginia or Ohio or really anywhere outside of the Atlantic establishment on the East Coast, he probably could have got there probably would have been like 50% acquittals at least. So yeah, a lot of people got raw deals out of this. Oh, screen. Sorry. A lot of people would have got acquittals out of this, he thinks. But yeah, here is a little bit of Federico talking.
Not how the process worked out was unfair. If you want to have a fair trial, take it outside of DC. DC voted 93% for Biden. So they needed a fair trial. So if we would have gotten a fair trial, I think I wouldn't be in a position where I needed a pardon.
So you're not.
I would.
That said, Enrique Tarrio is still a Fed. He's still a fucking Fed. So yeah, there's that. And now we get to the business end of this, the cases that are still pending, the cases that are still pending, chat. The reeing and the screaming and the gnashing of teeth and the pissing and the shitting has begun from the federal judiciary. And these judges, you know, these cases, they're ordered dismissed with prejudice. You know what that means? Sign off on it, Your Honor. Put the fucking fries in the fucking bag. That's all you got to do. Judge Beryl Howell, Judge Tanya Chutkin, Judge, Coder Colley, Judge Bates, all you cocksuckers, put the fucking fries in the fucking bag and sign the fucking dismissals. That's all you're asked to do. That's all you have to do. That's all you should do. Put the fucking fries in the fucking bag. That's the moral of the story. And these judges just can't do it. They just can't do it. They can't do it. And we're going to see that here. Judge Beryl Howell. I don't know, maybe it's because she got a barrel for a skull. I don't know. One of the major cocksuckers in all this January 6th nonsense. And she's been involved in all, she's a chief judge of the DC Circuit. She's been involved in all kinds of fuckery the DC Circuit has put out there, chat. All kinds of fuckery the DC Circuit has been involved in. So we're going to get to this. We're going to get to this now. So she says, and this is her memorandum in order, the government moves to dismiss with prejudice the 9-count superseding indictment against defendants Nicholas DiCarlo and Nicholas Ox. The government's motion to dismiss the second superseding indictment is pursuant to Rule 48A. The two defendants, by their own admission, engaged in criminal assault against law enforcement officers by throwing smoke bombs at officers. Oh no, a smoke bomb! The cops do that to people in riots! They throw smoke bombs at people! Oh no, a smoke bomb! Oh God! Fucking, yeah. As well as property damage and theft. Providing a factual basis for the defendant's guilty plea. So she talks about, and she cites all the different things in here. When you see the ECF thing, guys, that's a citation for entry number 82. And it says, due to their belief in the falsehood disseminated by political leaders and others that the 2020 election was stolen. Oh, yeah. Anyways. When no evidence of any outcome determined fraud has ever been uncovered, let alone confirmed by any federal, state, or local government agency in any court. Put the fries in the fucking bag. Put the fries in the bag, honey. Beryl, honey, I know you're out there. Put the fries in the bag. There's no reason it should be 8 pages. And nevertheless, for the reasons explained below, the government's motion is granted in part and denied in part. And the pending indictment against the defendants is dismissed without prejudice. It says the background. The two of the defendants in the case, one of whom founded the Hawaii chapter of the Proud Boys. Once again, some proud Western chauvinists who refused to apologize for creating the modern world. And they served as senior leaders of the group. Both admitted under oath, with the advice of counsel pursuant to pleas, they voluntarily entered the government, their criminal conduct at U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. Both men admitted throwing smoke bombs at law enforcement, okay, while on the grounds. Both men admitted to breaching the Capitol building, okay. Using the Capitol building to meet up with others of the Proud Boys while inside the building. Defacing the Capitol building and stealing equipment from law enforcement officers responding to protect the building and its lawful occupants for the rioters. You know, I love hearing this. They make it sound like it's so fucking bad. I mean, it's not like, you know, they sent a fucking bomb in the building, because the Capitol building's been bombed multiple times. Into the 80s, groups were sending bombs in there. And one of those groups has ties to Karen Bass, the current mayor of LA. The Weathermen bombed the Capitol building. The Puerto Rican independence movement has attacked the Capitol building multiple times, including one time where they sat in the gallery of the House and pulled out fucking pistols and started shooting at members of the House on the floor, which sounds really fucking based. And they celebrate it to this day in Puerto Rico. So acting like this is the worst thing that's ever happened in the Capitol building, like, fucking spare me. We've had some really nasty shit happen. I'm not telling you guys to take notes. I'm just saying. Don't take notes. But yes. So both plaintiffs pleaded guilty to one felony count of obstruction of an official proceeding and the remaining 5 charges against each defendant were dismissed. Defendants each reported prison in accordance with the waivers in their plea agreements. Neither filed a direct appeal. And then in the wake of the Supreme Court's decision in Fisher, which limited application of the federal felony obstruction statute to January 6th conduct, it was issued 18 months after the defendant's sentencing. This court vacated the obstruction convictions, granting their motion. And then roughly 2 months later, the government filed the pending superseding indictments, charging them with 9 federal counts, including 7 felonies. And that's the thing here with the feds. Check that out. They got fucking their ass handed to them in court, and they turned around and hit these people with 7 felonies. Fuck each and every one of the DOJ members that did this. Fuck you all. I hope you have some nasty Ebola level shits for doing this to people. You fucking lost. Suck it up. But anyways, they got charged with these new felonies: preventing an officer from discharging any duties, assaulting an officer, assaulting, resisting, or impeding, use a deadly and dangerous weapon, civil disorder, and aiding and abetting, destruction of government property, blah, 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 blah. So, in sum, the current posture of the case, even after the defendant's admission of conduct, and the government expending significant time and resources in identifying the defendants, investigating their conduct, filing 3 separate indictments against the defendants, that's not their fault. The government did that. The government, for some reason, dismissed the charges. That's their problem. Negotiating, executing plea agreements with the defendants, and vigorously contesting their motions at every step, the government's opposed everything that happened here. The government now seeks to dismiss the pending indictments against the defendants under Federal Rule 48A. And she acknowledged, this is all here. So you know what? It's not your reason. It's not yours to reason why. It's not yours to reason why, Your Honor. Put the fries in the bag. I'll do it like the black girls do. Put the fries in the bag. Maybe you understand that now. Let's go, Beryl. Honey, right here. Look at me. Look at me. Écoutez les enfants. Écoutez. Écoutez. Put the fries in the bag. Put the fries in the bag. Put the fries in the bag. Honestly, like if I was, I hope somebody files a motion, Your Honor, just sign the fucking thing and shut up. Courts have limited power when the government decides to stop prosecuting a criminal defendant. Yes. No, you must continue this case. Well, if Judge Emmett Sullivan tried to do that with Mike Flynn, and so yeah, they try to fuck around with it. At the same time, the Supreme Court and DC Circuit have both recognized the leave of the court requirement. Obviously, vests some discretion in the court. It's meant to protect defendants. It's meant to guard against abuses of prosecutorial discretion. To ensure the government's request for dismissal sufficiently protects the public, well, the government may be required to submit a statement of reasons on an underlying factual basis, which must be substantial to justify dismissal and not a mere conclusory statement. Yeah, I don't see how that's constitutional if the government wants to push it. We dismiss. It's not your job to give them standards. Remember, Beryl, honey, we have separation of powers, separate but equal branches of government. You're the executive, judicial, and congressional and legislative. You're not in the executive. You're over here in the judicial branch, not the executive branch. They don't touch. You don't get to tell them how to do it. Here, the government's motion provides no basis for dismissal. Put the fries in the bag. Put the fries in the bag, you bitch. Put the fries in the bag. Instead, the single paragraph explanation, including the one-page dismissal motion, cites as reason for the dismissal only a presidential proclamation granting pardons and commutations for offenses related. Okay, well, this proclamation directs the Attorney General to pursue the dismissal of prejudice of all pending indictments against individuals for conduct related to events at or near the Capitol on January 6th. That's a factual basis. Our boss said so. The president has said, you are not prosecuting these people. This is kind of like a Ron Swanson thing. I declared it. I decided that was going to happen. That's what Trump did. He said, I am making it so. That's it. That's all you need. That's all the factual basis you need. We're dismissing it because somebody used a constitutionally granted power unto them. That's all that matters. That's all that matters here. That's all that fucking matters here. You know, suffer, Judge. Suffer. Yeah. Factually based these nuts, Judge Howell. These nuts, they go in your mouth. Yes, oh my God, Parks and Rec. I know. It's the only time I'm ever going to reference it because it's a fucking retarded show. But it works here. It works here. Yeah, and Sarah's like, what don't you understand, Bish? So, yeah. It's just put the fries in the bag. That's all we're asking of you. That's all you're required to do right now, honey. Like, we're not asking you to fly the space shuttle. The only reason provided for the instruction as set out is the assertion this action ends a grave national injustice has been perpetrated on the American people and begins a process of reconciliation. No national injustice occurred here, just as no outcome determinative fraud occurred in the 2020 election. Put the fries in the bag! No process of national reconciliation can begin when poor losers. You mean like you? You fucking do this for pages on pages. You're literally fucking crying and reeing in a fucking court document. You sound like a poor fucking loser. You fucking lost. They got pardoned. Game over. He wins. You lose. Suffer. Suffer, Judge Powell. Suffer. Suffer all fucking night. Suffer the rest of your judicial, tendency there. Suffer. I hope the House impeaches your ass. I hope you get impeached or removed from the bench so you can really suffer. Suffer so fucking much. Suffer. Whose candidates lose an election are glorified for disrupting a mandated proceeding in Congress and doing so with impunity. That merely raises the dangerous specter of future lawless conduct by other poor losers and undermines the rule of law. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. You know, a judge shitting all over this kind of undermines the rule of law too, because you won't put the fries in the bag. Yet this pronouncement of a national injustice is the sole justification provided. Yeah. Okay. Having provided over scores of criminal cases for defendants for conduct both inside and outside the Capitol building, which charges were fully supported by evidence in the form of extensive videotapes and photographs, admissions by defendants in the course of plea hearings and trials, this court cannot let stand the revisionist myth relayed in this pronouncement. The prosecutions in this case and other charging defendants for their cases on January 6th. The interesting thing here? She's referring to cases that aren't in front of her. Normally, you can't just take judicial notice of other cases. You can't do that like that. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. You shouldn't be doing this. Fucking dismiss and shut up. These present no injustice, but instead reflect the diligent work of conscientious public servants, including prosecutors and law enforcement, and dedicated defense attorneys. So what? Wait. Why are you? Oh, because I get it. We're lumping in the public defenders who were like brainwashing and bullying their clients to plead. To defend our democracy and rights and preserve our long tradition of peaceful transfers of power, which until January 6th served as a model of the world, all while affording those charged every protection guaranteed by our Constitution and the criminal justice system. Guess what? There's another protection by the Constitution. The pardon power. That's a protection from the Constitution, honey. The power to pardon people. So guess what? The thing you're fucking crying about fucking happened and you're still fucking crying about it. Put the fucking fries in the fucking bag and shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. Put the fucking fries in the fucking bag, please. God almighty, the DC circuit, the DC district court needs to be fucking disbanded. This is fucking awful. Yes. Put the gavel on the thingy, Judge. Oh. As to these two defendants specifically, both admitted their criminal conduct under oath. Okay. And after consultation with their attorneys pursuant to plea agreements which they agreed, bluntly put, the assertion offered in the presidential pronouncement for the pending motion to dismiss is flatly wrong. So are you saying that because people enter pleas that they can't be wrong? I mean, are we saying the system's infallible? I mean, what are we saying here? Still, the D.C. Circuit has cautioned that a district judge has no power to deny a Rule 48 motion to dismiss based on a disagreement with the exercise of charging authority. Yeah. The judiciary generally lacks authority to second-guess those determinations. So don't second-guess it. Shut the fuck up. Despite finding the sole reason relied upon dismissing the case, an incorrect assertion in the proclamation is neither substantially nor factually correct. That's not for you to decide, honey. Honey, listen. That's not your call. You are not the finder of fact here, lady. Honey. You are not the finder of fact. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what you think. Yes, go read precedents in the case Cope versus Sneed. I should cite that. It's Cope versus Sneed. The government's view of public interest clearly does not fall in the types of reasons found to provide legitimate grounds to deny the government the Rule 48A motion to dismiss charges. Therefore, the government's motion to dismiss the indictment is granted. Just put the fries in the bag, honey. Just put the fries in the bag. Nothing about the government's reasoning for dismissal warrants entry of dismissal with prejudice, however. And this is the problem with the fucking judiciary. Put the fries in the bag. I've never heard of a time, and guys, I've only been doing this 10 years. Prosecutor says, Your Honor, we dismiss the prejudice, and the judge goes, no, I can't allow that. No, you fucking do what you're told. Dismissal with prejudice means it's done. If you can't fucking handle that, go bake cookies, you bitch. Dismissal with prejudice is a complete adjudication of the matter and would bar any further prosecution. Yeah, that's what a full unconditional pardon is. That's what a full and unconditional pardon is, you thunder cunt. That's what a dismissal of prejudice is meant to do as well. Stop the case. That's what this is meant for. You understand the assignment, you just don't want to do it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I hope they remove your ass from the bench. This result would be improper here. Why? Why is it improper? Because of their admissions of conduct, including throwing smoke bombs? Okay. This provides ample basis for a prosecution. The prosecution doesn't want to do it. It's done. You don't get to tell them no. You don't get to tell them no, honey. This is not your job. It's not your bag. It ain't your gig. You're done. It's dunny. Instead, the government slides on a policy assertion made in the presidential proclamation that these should not be continued, only warrants rendering the proceedings a nullity and leaving the parties as if the action had never been brought. Yeah. Which is achieved by granting the government's motion to dismiss without prejudice. Fuck you, you fucking cunt of a human being. Suffer, you little butt-hurt, poor loser bitch. Holy shit. You think this is like some striking back. You've just cemented in the pages of history. On the pages of history, you've now cemented yourself as a fucking whiny asshole who couldn't fucking just accept reality. Forever, you've gone down in history going, "Ree!" at the Orange Man. Fucking hack. For the reason above, the motion to dismiss is granted. It's dismissed, but denied that this is dismissal with prejudice. You fucking piece of shit. Just put the fries in the bag, honey. Just put you have one job. Do what's been agreed to and put the fries in the bag. This is 8 pages, guys. It didn't need to be this long. You put the fries in the bag and we all go home. God almighty. So the second superseding indictment is dismissed without prejudice. You know what? I hope the D.C. Circuit shoves it up your ass. Or the Supreme Court does. I hope Clarence Thomas whips out his dick and just hollows you out. Hollows you out like he's down in fucking hedonism too for the weekend. You know, the status conference for January 24th is vacated. This chaps her ass. She is so fucking angry. She is mauling and seething. She is so damn mad. She is so damn mad. Oh. Yeah, good luck in claiming impartiality after this. Yeah. Suffer, Judge Howe. Suffer. Suffer. Your brain is like a barrel. It's hollow. Maybe that's what your parents meant. Maybe that's what they meant. You know, it's fucking disgusting. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Random guy says, angry, shouty Sean's the best Sean. Changed my mind. 8 pages of sneeding. I know. 8 pages of coding. The United States for the District of Columbia. The District of Columbia. That's what we're dealing with tonight, chat. The District of Columbia. That's all this is. You know, the United States Circuit for the District of, and hold on here. We got to fix it, chat. We got to fix it. Alyssa, clip this shit up, girl. Clip this shit up. The district, there's only one thing we can say here, chat. The District of Columbia. That's all we've got tonight, chat. It's the District of Columbia. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all we're looking at here. That's all we're looking at. It's just Cope. It's Copenhagen. It's Cope. It's not important as to what's next for those guys. Nothing to worry about. Well, technically, these charges could be brought back with the next administration, probably. I don't know what the statute of limitations for those are. I don't know yet. The District of Columbia. Yeah. So there we go. But that's not all, chat. That's not all. We have other courts. Other courts. So we have here. This is from Judge John Bates. This is an entry that's just put on Pacer. It says, upon consideration of the president's part in the entire record herein, it is hereby ordered that the parties in probation shall, by not later than January 24th, inform the court of their positions as to whether the pardon extends to the alleged violations of the terms of his supervised release, and if not, whether there is any reason why the court should not proceed with a final revocation hearing on February 27th, 2025. This motherfucker, your case is over. It just won't let it go. Just put the fries in the bag. Put the fries in the bag. It's done. These fucking people. They wear a robe and seriously. This is, it's disgusting. This bitch here, John Bates, suffer. Just fucking let it go, honey. Let it go. Let it go. And he's not the only one. I mean, there's other ones of this here. There's other ones here. Like this one here. The United States of America versus Dominic Box. Box. So memorandum and opinion order. Yep. So he got charged with 7 felonies for his conduct on January 6, 2021. In June, the court held a bench trial. At the bench trial, Box agreed under oath that a written stipulated facts was true and did occur. The court reviewed those facts with Box, and again, Box agreed with and did not contest each stipulation. So the government presented video evidence that supported the factual findings, and he agreed with those. Well, it talks once again about Fisher v. United States, which ended up dismissing a count against her. And after a period of, and she talks about the court dismissed count 1 and proceeded to render a verdict on the remaining counts. And based on those counts, he got a bunch of charges he was convicted of, and the court found him guilty on this count: civil disorder, entering and remaining, disorderly and disruptive, disorderly, parading and demonstrating, and picketing the Capitol building. The court made findings supporting his guilty verdicts. And he said, while Box stood outside, he observed officers using pepper spray against individuals to deter them from entering the grounds. Undeterred, well, he wasn't deterred by the pepper spray, so who was he deterred by? He followed the crowd as it pushed a small group of cops across the grounds, up the staircase, into the facade of the Capitol itself. Yes, this whole thing is a facade. There he paused to film as rioters shattered and climbed through the windows on the grounds of the Capitol. Aided by the rioters he had just watched break into the building, Box entered the Capitol through the Senate doors. He was among the first group to enter the building. All he's done is enter and filmed. Notice he's not charged with being violent. So why are we running up the score here? I think ma'am, I get you want to tell me something. Why are there no fries in my bag? Why are there no fries in my bag? Why is there no signature from you down here? Why is there no squiggle down here saying dismissed? Where is it? So he talks about going into the Capitol crypt. Inside the crypt, the cops told him to leave, and he apparently walked up to the cops and shouted, "There's no talking. There's no fucking talking." As the mob overran the officers in the crypt, Box, who was filming the scene, proclaimed, "This is awesome." And I'm not going to lie, if I was sitting there watching, I'd be like, well, that's pretty base too. He briefly exited the Capitol before returning inside moments later. An officer immediately told him, "You don't want to be in here," and Box left again. Okay. But a half hour later, he was back inside, entering through the East Rotunda door. Okay, well, yeah, that probably wasn't the smartest idea. Box lingered around the door, which had been smashed and shattered, as officers pushed the crowd back outside. When the rioters forced the door open again, Box turned to the crowd and yelled, "We need more people." Yes, people power. Collectivism. Box is scheduled to be sentenced for his 2 felony convictions of 4 misdemeanors, February 21st, 2025. You should say was. He is not anymore. He was scheduled. On January 21st, the government moved to dismiss as the reason, and oh wow, it's kind of like all they're arguing the same logic here. It's not fair. The government can dismiss, and it does not grant either the government or the trial court the authority to vacate or set aside a plea of guilty, a jury verdict, or a court's finding of fact and conclusions of law following a bench trial. Yeah. At its roots in the common law doctrine of nolli prosequi, cast doubt, and the idea of nolli prosequi, Chad, is a dismissal. Cast doubt on the Rule 48's applicability post-conviction without deciding whether Rule 48 can be used properly to vacate a final conviction. It says, however, the U.S. Court of Appeals is indicated in dicta, the government may seek dismissal of criminal charges under Rule 48, at least until a judgment becomes final on direct appeal. And that makes sense. Until the judgment's final, the government can always dismiss a case. Because you could have been found guilty, but you haven't been convicted yet. You haven't been sentenced. It's not over. The government can stop a case there. And guys, remember, dicta is when the court basically muses about something, but it's not part of the actual opinion. It's kind of just side talk that's tangentially related, but isn't critical to the holding. So she says, it follows the government may also seek dismissal before the trial court has sentenced the defendant. Consistent with that conclusion, at least 2 courts in this district have granted Rule 48 motions after trial but before sentencing. Yes. And upon consideration of the relevant authority, this court agrees Rule 48 is a proper vehicle for dismissal with the leave of court before sentencing. The court must consider whether to grant its leave to dismiss the case. You're going to have to. You're going to have to. To form the analysis, the court may require a statement of reasons why. The only stated reason is the president has ordered the attorney general to do so. That's a reason. The court does not discern, and neither party has identified any defect in either the legal merits or the factual basis for the government's case that required dismissal. But recognizing the executive branch has exclusive authority and absolute discretion to decide whether to prosecute a case, the court shall not require a further explanation here. It took you 5 pages to say that. It took you 5 pages to say that. You know, how many pages did you just piss and shit your pants about? Coping and sneezing the whole way through this. Just Copenhagen. The chief judge of the Copenhagen court. The dismissal of charges, pardons after convictions, and commutation of sentences will not change the truth of what happened on January 6th. Put the fries in the bag! I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. What occurred that day is preserved through thousands of contemporaneous videos, transcripts, trials, jury verdicts, and opinions recounting the evidence through a neutral lens. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it considering you're one of these lenses. It sounds like you're really fucking butthurt now. I don't care. I don't care anymore, Judge. These records are immutable and represent the truth. We're really sure about, like, is that? Yes, the court never get it wrong. They never got it wrong, chat. No matter how the events of January 6th are described by those charged or their allies, fuck you. Fuck you, you shriveled bitch. Put the fries in my bag, please. Ma'am, this is a Wendy's. What role law enforcement played that day in the heroism of each officer who responded also cannot be altered or ignored. Oh, yes. Present that day were officers from the U.S. Capitol Police who came when their aid when called, the D.C. Metropolitan Police, the Montgomery County Cops, Prince George's, Arlington County, and Fairfax County. Grossly outnumbered, those law enforcement officers acted valiantly to protect the members of Congress, their staff, the Vice President and his family, the integrity of the Capitol grounds, and the Capitol building, our symbol of liberty and a symbol of democratic rule around the world. For hours, those officers were aggressively confronted and violently assaulted. I can think of a courthouse in the western United States, specifically near the West Coast, where some shit happened too. I'm just saying. I wonder how she feels about that. More than 140 officers were injured. Others tragically passed away as a result of the events that day. Honey, come on. I looked her up. She's too old to be having tampons. I don't know why she's gushing everywhere. She might need to go see a doctor about that. But law enforcement did not falter. Standing with bear spray streaming down their faces. It sounds like she's the fucking narrator in 300. Oh, we killed and killed till there wasn't a Persian left. They were blood drunk. Those officers carried out their duty to protect. All of what I've described has been recorded for posterity, ensuring what transpired on January 6th can be judged accurately in the future. Fuck you. Fuck you, Your Honor. Fuck you. It's in the light of the foregoing is hereby ordered. The government's motion to dismiss is granted. It's dismissed with prejudice. All scheduled proceedings are vacated. All pending motions are denied as moot. Kirk Court is respectfully directed to close this case. Colleen Kohler Cotelli. Safa! Oh, God, the tears coming down your face tonight. You didn't need to add any salt to your soup, lady. I bet it's being taken care of. Just don't water it down too much. Just don't water it down too much tonight, honey. Yeah. Thanks for the fries, Colleen. Thanks for the fries. Thanks for the fries, Colleen. I sound like Dan Carlin for a second there. Oh. This is the problem with Wendy's. The hoe running the fries, you can't eat them cold. I know. Yeah, and Antifa attacked a detention building in Portland, and nothing happened. But yeah, that courthouse, like federal agents got blinded by lasers, and there was fire bombings and shit. And then the district attorney there is like, yeah, and the attorney for the Portland's like, yeah, dismissed. Yeah, fucking judges, man, fucking judges sometimes. But wait, chat, there's one more. There's one more. Judge Tanya Chutkan. Judge Chutkan. Judge Chutkan. I'd like to say because, there should be a requirement of, like, you got to be natural born to be a judge. But these other judges are naturally born and they're fucking retarded too. So I guess constitutional literacy, goes no bounds. Hunter Brooks says, where does the suffer thing come from? So Ethan Ralph would tell people to suffer. And then PPP making fun of Ralph and making fun of Ethan Ralph's accent is very animated about it. It says suffer. So I'm doing an impression of PPP's impression of Ethan Ralph. So that's where that is at. Hi to everybody over in Rumble. And hi, Uncle Bob, over in Twitter. Hi. Yes, it's just... she also got pissed because the case against Trump had to get tossed. I'm sure that chapped her ass to no end. Chat. But we got to fix something, chat. We got another problem. Chat. It's the District of Columbia. Of Columbia. We got the District of Columbia. We got the District Court for the District of Columbia. And so she says this is pursuant. Actually, here we go. The government's motion to dismiss is granted in part and denied in part. I wonder where we're going to go here. The government's only reason for pursuing dismissal with prejudice is the president, in addition to pardoning the defendant, has ordered the attorney general to do so. The court does not discern, and the parties have neither identified any defect in the legal merits or the factual basis of the government's case. Indeed, while a pardon exercises the executive's authority to an absolute discretion to whether to prosecute a case, it does not render the innocent a defendant of any alleged violation of law. And that's true. A pardon doesn't declare innocence. Fair enough. More broadly, okay, and you could have left it at that. I guess Judge Chutkin doesn't put the fries in the bag. I mean, where is she from? Where is her family from? Because she's not understanding. It's not getting through to her. It's not getting through to her. She was born in Jamaica. Okay. Yo, man, the bumperclot don't put the fries in the bag, man. Is that? Do you understand that? Do you understand that, Judge Chutkin? Yeah, man, the bumper clap, put the fries in the bag. Yeah, done goofing. You don't be no rude boy. Do you understand? I'm trying to help you. Here. Do you understand what your job is right now? You do your squiggle, and then it's done. We don't need any more. Yeah, Jamaica me crazy, Judge. On that day, a mob professing support for then-President Trump violently attacked the U.S. Capitol to stop the Electoral College certification. The dismissal of this case cannot undo the rampage that left multiple people dead. Only Ashley Babbitt died. Are we like, who are these multiple dead? More than 140 injured. Well, yeah, only the cops are counting. I guess nobody else counts. And inflicted millions of dollars in damage. It cannot diminish the heroism of law enforcement officers struggled facing serious injury and death to even control the mob that overwhelmed them. It cannot whitewash the blood, feces. I'm sure you know about shit, don't you? You know about shit like this one I'm reading right now, and the terror the mob left in its wake. It cannot repair the jagged breach in America's sacred tradition, peacefully transitioning power. This is a jagged breach in the rule of law and what we expect. Everybody wants to talk about constitutional norms until it's time to do a fucking constitutional norm. It's been declared done, and you won't just fucking do it. You're lecturing about the Constitution, but you won't fucking follow it. God damn. Everybody wants to be a gangster until it's time to do the gangster shit. You've been told what to do, honey. The executive branch has told you what to do. All you got to do is put the fries in the bag. Remember, yeah, man, don't put the fries in the bag, man. That's all you got to do. Can't do it. In hundreds of cases like this, judges in this district have administered justice without fear or favor. Oh, bullshit. The historical record established by those proceedings must stand. I don't know. I really don't think so. Unmoved by political wins is a testament and is a warning. Yeah, you guys are a warning that you guys are a fucking warning. For those reasons, it's ordered the case is dismissed without prejudice. You fucking cunt. You fucking cunt. You can't even follow directions. How can you be a judge? It's dismissed with prejudice. You know, I guess I don't know how to do like, you know, Yardy in sign language, so I can't help you, but like with prejudice, honey, with prejudice. Why can't you do what you've been told? Why can't you do what you've been told? If you can't, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out and go do something else. You were told to do something and you can't do it. Get the fuck out. All other proceedings are vacated. Yeah. Judge Tanya S. Shutkin. Fucking coping and sneezing whore. Another coping and sneezing. Pizzu says, can they appeal these dismissals? Actually, I think you can pursue a, I think they could probably pursue an appeal, but they could also probably pursue a mandamus action. And like they're entitled to a dismissal with prejudice. They have no authority to dismiss only without prejudice. I think they don't have that ability. I don't think they have that ability. FaZe Raj saying, if I don't follow my boss's orders, I get fired. Well, Trump's not their boss. But yes, judges who don't follow what's been set up should be removed from the bench. It's not hard. So, at this point, you know, they could probably get a mandamus motion. Certainly the Court of Appeal is going to say, yeah, it should be dismissed with prejudice. Although the DC Circuit's a bunch of fucking cocksuckers. So, like I said, maybe Clarence is going to have to, like, show Tanya some Jamaican loving and, like, love her like a Midwestern housewife and just hollow her out. Maybe she needs that. Maybe Judge Bates needs that, too. Maybe he's hankering for some dark meat. I mean, I don't know why they just can't handle it. Oh, Kurt, I'll get that to you, man. Here, I'll send that to you, brother. Hang tight. Let me see. Hold on here. I'll send you to where I got it from. It's just, this is so fucking infuriating, chat. I mean, fuck these people. Who the fuck do they think they are? Who do they think they are doing this? Huh? Who do they think they are? Seriously. You know, who put the fucking nickel in you? Who put the fucking nickel in you, Judge Chuckin? Who the fuck are you to start saying this? Who the fuck are you to start saying this? You know, this isn't your this isn't for you to do it. This isn't for you to do it. You don't get to do this. You don't get to do this. Hold on here, Kurt. I'm going to send this to you over on Twitter so you have it. So you have it here. Shoot, wrong person. Guys, remember on Civil Law, Kurt, he's a great friend of the show. If you guys aren't subscribed on Civil Law, show him some love out there. Kurt does great shit. He's been hammering away on these part and stuff all day today. Let me see if this will pop out in there. This should be it, Kurt. I think I just sent you the link to it through Court Listener. Let me know if it doesn't work. But it's John Benuelos or Buenos. I don't know how I pronounce the name. Whatever. I don't know. So, Jamaican women are not following basic instructions. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah. Can Trump do anything else? No, there's nothing else he can really do at this point. Now, the Attorney General's office probably could appeal this. They could seek an appeal and say, Your Honor, we asked for a dismissal with prejudice. We demand that be done. That'd be a very weird appeal because both the parties would be in agreement. But yeah, that could happen. They could seek a mandamus action technically too if they wanted to. That would be hilarious if both sides sought a writ of mandamus for the exact same thing. Yes, mandamus, the fries in the bag, honey. So, Assholes React saying, couldn't there be also a 1983 case because they didn't follow directed order? No, because it's not their order. And also remember, judges have judicial immunity. They're bulletproof. They're going to be able to say, look, I have judicial reasoning. And guess who's going to be in charge of that case? A federal judge. And a federal judge is never going to throw one under the bus. They'll go, she was trying. She followed the rules. She made reasoning. Sorry. Do you think the Court of Appeals is going to overturn that? Nope. You think the Supreme Court's going to overturn that? Nope. So, nope. That's they're going to have to go take care of it. They're going to have to seek corrections. So there you go. So much law achieved. Yes. Yes. Matto says you're cooking tonight. Yes. I love it. Oh, this is turning into Recated law. I mean, well, we're not talking about, we're not talking about sex. We're actually talking about proper legal analysis. So we're not really turning into that. We're not talking about relationships and stories. We're talking about the government being fucking awful. Talking about bulldozing a fucking courthouse, chat. So let's see here. What else, you guys? John says Kurt Rolls have been watching since he started the YouTube. Yeah. Yep. I remember watching Kurt back in the day when he'd be on with Leonard French. I was like, oh, neat. And then you get to meet people like that. You're like, oh, cool. I've seen you so many times before. Aaron saying no swallowing of nickels. That's not what that means. Who put the nickel in you is like, you know, who fired you up? Who got you going? You know, who the fuck do you think you are, more or less? Kurt says also 1983 only applied to state level actors. There's that too, and I mean, you might be able to call it like a Bivens action or something, but it won't work anyway. 10K view. I'm not going to say that because I don't need the feds knocking on my door, really. Stacy, I don't know. Garrett, I'm not going to answer that one either. I'm just going to say fuck you, federal piggies out there. Derper says, what is a mandamus action? A mandamus action is where you take and you seek from a higher court your right to something. Basically, you're ordering a higher court to tell the lower court, perform the action and give me generally some sort of ruling or document. So there's times where you may need to, the court hasn't done its job and you're entitled to an action from the court. So the court, producing that document. In this case, they're entitled to a dismissal with prejudice. So they would go up to the court, the DC Circuit Court of Appeals, and they would say to that court, we both have agreed to a dismissal with prejudice. I am entitled to a dismissal with prejudice. Order Judge Chutkin to give me a dismissal with prejudice. And the DC Circuit should say, yeah, you know what? Looking at this, yeah, it should be a dismissal with prejudice. All right, Tanya, give them a dismissal of prejudice. You are hereby ordered to do it. And then she's ordered by a higher court to do it. It's called a writ. And a writ is one of the old common law ways you would get things in court. You would file writs, just like a writ of habeas corpus, procedendo, quo warranto, writ of prohibition. There's a bunch of different writs that are out there. And not every state considers them all. And then even in the federal government, they have what's called the All Writs Act. So I hope that answers that question. It's a high energy stream. The highest of energies. The highest of energies, chat. We are never coming down. We are never coming down. So. Yeah, I know. You're getting all this with sobriety. You're actually getting hard-hitting legal analysis. Can I get a mini tactical chainsaw? No. Having used real chainsaws, those aren't good chainsaws, I can tell you. It's not a Husqvarna with a 24-inch bar. Let me tell you. Potentially Ricada. I don't know about that. Let me see here. What else, you guys? Let me see. Trying to catch up on some things. Who put the sugar in your coffee? Google Mandingo action. No, it's not a Mandingo action or a Matt Damon action, chat. No. It's not a writ of Matt Damon. Oh. Yes, Chris, I'm aware that out of the DC jail, allegedly they're trying to force several of the January 6ers to sign NDAs. Many of the January 6ers, there are multiple stories of it, basically the guards beating the shit out of them routinely. That some guards were hired, basically, who don't speak English and are beating the shit out of them and treating them poorly for years on end now. There are some people from January 6th who have been in jail nearly 4 years awaiting trial at this point. Like, it's fucking insane what's happened. So, no, it's not a Kyle Ritt. It's not a writ of. It's not a Rittenhouse, Kyle. Stop. Yes, they want a writ of McDonald. Just put the fries in the bag, ma'am. Yes. Yes. Speed didn't use the cowbell. I forgot. Hold on. Hold on, chat. I gotta get it. Yes. Just put the fries in the bag. Just put the fries in the bag, chat. I don't know. I think that might have scared the dog, so we're not doing that. A writ of copium, yes. Oh. If 2.0 comes home without fries, are we going to see a show? Oh. Yes. You guys are something else here. Let me see here. Fries in the bag emoji needed. Yeah, we need a. Yeah. Slow down, Sean. We're not used to all the sobriety. I understand. Okay. So, going on here, Base Shaman is saying Ross was framed by a corrupt DEA agent for murder for hire. However, the victim is still alive, and he says Ross had nothing to do with the hit. Yes. More importantly, Ross was never convicted or charged with murder for hire. He was done in a separate court case that they dismissed as soon as they got their trial conviction. Kind of weird, huh? Kind of weird. Makes you think. But 100% correct, Base Shaman. Midnight in Exile says, so we're cool with Ulbricht hiring hitmen. Well, I'm not really trusting the government considering they did it in a very sketchy way. And he's thinking he succeeded in having a person murdered and trying again. Well, I mean, I'm not going to take the government's word for it at this point. So, no, I mean, we're cool with it. Yeah. I mean, hell, we let a guy, I mean, that's, yeah, at this point, sure, why not? Fuck the government. Can Ross get his Bitcoin back? No, that'll be considered contraband still, so probably not. Sadly, no. Michelle, good to see you, saying we need Trump to pardon the Whitmer prisoners. Yes, 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 all of them. But I think they got hammered on state level stuff. So even if they get out here, they're going to be sitting in prison for a while, sadly. Ray can no longer use his Fifth Amendment. That's correct. Anybody who's been pardoned, including General Milley and including Dr. Fauci, if they're called before a court, I assert my Fifth Amendment rights. Like, you don't have any more liability. You have a pardon. It's full and unconditional. So for the time frames we're talking about, yeah, you could arguably force them to testify. It's going to be, I would argue it operates like a grant of immunity. Super Wiener has been a member for 11 months. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. I did not get tired of winning, and we are so back. That's right, chat. I am not tired of winning either, chat. I am not tired of winning either. Not tired of winning. Oh. Garrett Pace has been a member for 19 months. Thank you, Garrett. It's saying pardon Clyde. Like, pardon him like you're walking through. You're like, oh, pardon me, Clyde. Pardon me, sir. Do you have any Grey Poupon? Or are you, like, saying pardon Clyde? I don't know. You're going to have to talk 2.0. Clyde kind of peed on some things today. So, yeah. 10K views, been a member for 13 months. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate all of this. Can someone in chat explain to what Taka means? Yeah, please do, chat. Please do. Unhung Hero for $5. Thank you, man. It's good to see you. It says, we support you, Sean. Like a belt and suspenders support your pants. Well, yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Mega Mobas says, does Milley still fall under the UCMJ or does pardon cover that too? Full and unconditional pardon. Yes. So he can't be charged with violations of the Uniform Code of Military Justice, but they could do things like as far as like punishments, he could suffer administrative punishments like loss reduction in rank, from what I understand. There's a bunch of things they can do to him, reduce his rank, reduce things, and kind of hurt him. Kind of like revoking a security clearance. They can do all kinds of shit to him. So there's going to be ways General Milley could suffer still. There's still ways he could suffer. So, but I'm sure he's out there sucking Chinese cock right now for his Chinese handlers. Bad Weather Biker says, can President Trump still sign Rule 303 to an executive order? Ah, yes, chat. It's the rule of the Veld in South Africa. It's Rule 303. According to the great Breaker Moran. Brilliant movie. Rule 303, chat. Has something to do with the caliber of the Enfield rifle. Rule 303. And fibers of hemp braided together to form a big, long braided piece of fibrous hemp. That's a rule also that could be used. Just say it. Shh. Chat. We're not saying that out loud anymore. Shh. Okay. Shh. Ag Biochemist says, pass the salt, Yana. Yes. Fair Frozen 55 says, in the 50s, Puerto Ricans shot up people. There are still holes there. Yes. And there were holes in Blair House, the house where dignitaries come to visit. For a while, Truman was living there while they were renovating the White House. And some Puerto Rican nationals tried to go in there and assassinate him. They ended up getting into a gunfight out front with a D.C. police officer who was guarding Blair House. He got killed. But, yeah, they turned that place into a bullet festival, and there were still bullet marks there for a while. It's good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well out there in Puerto Rico. But it's nice and warm. Benjamin Lewis says Steak and Shake now cooks fries and beef tallow. I heard about that. I've never been a big Steak and Shake guy. Like, their food's always been like, meh, like it's not very good. But yeah, like actually having beef tallow fries, it's like, I don't think I remember those days. I was like a little kid. I don't remember. DF88 says, put the chromosome in the bag, Queen. Yes. Joshua Nofsky says, no touching tips. Yes. No taxes on tips. I think that's what you're meaning to say. Rivenhex saying, didn't the judge in General Flynn's case do something similar? Yeah, but Judge Sullivan drug it out for quite a while and actually made like the government do a song and dance. And then he was like, well, I'm not sure I'm going to do it. Oh, yeah, Judge Sullivan was a bigger fucking scumbag, so. Yes. Winston says, for $20, by the way. Thank you. He says, hypothetically, if I was at January 6th, I didn't enter the Capitol, hypothetically, but stood outside and was on the steps and Raptors yelling at police, well, there's around me rioting. What should I do so I don't get charged in the future? Buy a lottery ticket because you're good now. I mean, there might be an argument. Technically, this doesn't cover you, but I think if anybody else gets brought forward on a charge, Trump would pardon that as well. So, but I think they've made it clear the DOJ is not going to pursue any more as part of Trump's policies, any more prosecutions. And at that point, I think the statute of limitations, I don't think it's that long. At some point, that's going to be almost 8 years by the time we get past the Trump presidency. So, I mean, but technically the way the pardon's written, it's not necessarily the way the pardon's written, chat. I mean, here's the thing. When you go back to it, I grant a full and unconditional pardon to all other individuals convicted of offenses related to events. So it's individuals convicted. And then it says for everybody else, I order with dismissal of prejudice the government of all pending indictments. So if you weren't charged at this point, like the government says they're still going after people, theoretically the DOJ could charge more people and this pardon doesn't cover you. Now, if that were to happen, I think Trump would take care of it. And I think in the coming days and weeks, that people are going to look at that and realize, oh, we need to fix that problem. So that's where I would reach out to groups and just be active about it, hypothetically. Hypothetically, it's not a bad idea. So there are a lot of fries in the bag memes, yes. Does the pardon cover the cop who killed Ashley Babbitt? No, he was pardoned by Joe Biden. So he's all good. Although technically, I think he was. But if he wasn't, yeah, that would probably cover him. Although technically he wasn't charged, so this wouldn't cover him. Actually, he wasn't charged, and he wasn't convicted of anything. So yeah, he's not covered either. A writ of prohibition. Yeah. Destiny has bigger problems now. Well, yes, Destiny's got a lot of problems. Pietz is saying the DOJ will focus on other crimes until the next presidency. I mean, if J.D. Vance doesn't win, there are going to be problems. So, yeah, Biden gave Michael Byrd a pardon. So, yeah, he's already done. Trump should pardon all civilians in and around January 6th. That's how he should have done it. Anybody on the grounds of the Capitol and anybody who may have committed offense in conjunction with January 6th is dismissed. But you know what that also means? That does not pardon the pipe bomber. The pipe bomber is not pardoned by this. So, there you go. On a scale of 1 to 10, how fucked is Destiny? Well, I mean, he's been pretty fucked literally too. So, probably really bad. Probably really bad. I've read through some of the stuff Cherry and Pixie have put up, and it's like, oh boy. Then there's the Keeman or whatever, Keelan or whatever. Guy's been like going big lately. It's been kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting listening to people like Counterpoints and all these other people just fucking busting out the brooms and sweeping up. It's like, you know, a lot of people sweeping for Destiny. Yeah, Destiny has a lot of problems is generally a correct statement all the time. Dead Descent says, can a pardon protect you from being extradited to another country to be a charge? No. Nope. Like if I commit a murder in Britain and I come to America, I didn't commit a, like, Trump has no authority over that. He can refuse to extradite me, but that only works so long as the government agrees with that position. But there's also nothing technically from stopping the British from like sending the SAS over to like snatch me up and take me back to Britain. I mean, we do that all the time. You go snatch up some drug dealer or some terrorist somewhere and rendition them back to America. You know, or they pay, you know, private people will do that all the time. You know, there are people in prison, federal prison, who are like, they were basically kidnapped and drug here for a ransom paid for by the government. And then they're like, sorry, you're in our custody now. So you're going to prison. We have an indictment against you. So Trump can't do it. It's only offenses against the United States. If I murdered somebody in Britain, that's not an offense against the United States. So, the pipe bomber is qualified immunity since he was acting in direct capacity for the FBI. Yeah, well, we know that too. Say, good, don't pardon them because they're a fucking Fed. Yeah, well, but that also leaves out people in the cold of like other people, like the feds have said they're going after. Like we talked about this last year, guys. There were like 1,000 more people they wanted to go after. I mean, it's not necessarily going to stop them. What did Destiny do now? He did revenge porn, basically. So we'll talk about more. We'll talk about more tomorrow night, chat. Tomorrow night, we'll talk about Destiny and what he did a little bit. And that'll be the Thursday night show every Thursday night at 9:30 Eastern. We'll be talking about Destiny and what he may have done and why that might be. Yeah. So there you go. Let's see here. Did I get all the... Yeah, I think we're caught there. I'm going to read more here. Some guy with cancer. Oh, buddy. You know, I whatever it is you have, I hope you're beating it. Hope you stay upbeat. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. And, I hope your family is doing well and hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying positive. So good luck. Fuck cancer. Fuck cancer the same fury I hate Judge Chuckin right now. Fuck them both. Fuck cancer and fuck Judge Chuckin. So good luck out there, man. I hope you're doing well. Hanging out with Ric Flair, it looks like. That's pretty sweet. Saying Judge Hal goes, Ree! Ree! Oh, hi, Clyde. You want to come in here, Bubba? You come in here? Come here. Oh, I know the compressor's scaring you, isn't it? It's right here. Come on. Come here. What do I got? What do I got? Got the wheat treats. Come on. Yeah, he doesn't want to come in. There's a hose in the way. He's like, I can't cross it. It's a hose. It's a barrier. Amateur Iconoclast have been a member for 13 months. Thank you so much for the support. Yes, the fries go in the bag. The fries go in the bag. And then Bald Eagle 1787, pretty based right there, says, these judges better think real hard about fighting against a Trump pardon. If they start, the drunk could sick the DOJ on everyone Biden pardoned. And districts that are friendly to Trump will allow the prosecutions to happen. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with lawfare. You want to play this fucking game. Once you start letting this happen as the game, once you tell everybody these are the norms, then we got norms. You know, when you set new norms, we can play by those rules too. You don't get to get shocked Pikachu face when it's like, oh, you're doing the same thing I did. Yeah. It happens. So thank you for the super chat, by the way. Also, real quick, Winston, I will tell you hypothetically, as far as legal advice, you should really consult an attorney in your jurisdiction. I would just go back to that. Or you might want to talk to one of the attorneys that has experience in dealing with these federal cases. Shipwreck Crew's one of them. There's a couple of good ones out there who have been handling them. Talk to them and see what they would recommend to you or tell you not to worry about it or see what happens. Malcolm Combs says, could Trump pull our U.S. Marshal protections? No, because the Marshals, that's all federally done. And that's done through like judiciary acts and stuff. He can't remove that stuff. No. Sweet Bovine Incorporated says, disbarment case against Judge Howell couldn't get any stronger. Oh, this is not a disbarment action. I would argue it's an impeachment-worthy action. She should be impeached for it. Show no fucking mercy in the House. They should be impeaching these fuckers left and right. Well, actually, the Senate would be impeaching her. Impeach these judges left and right. Put some fear into the judiciary. Let them fear. Let them hate so long as they fear. Right now, they ain't fearing. Nick Kreuzer says, I tried Googling for just this case, but Barrel has an insane history of litigious judging, or whatever it's called when a judge does shit on their own. Judicial activism is the term you're looking for. Lee Gogg says, what about the pipe bombers? Yeah, they're still up for grabs. Fractal Fire says, Miley should get NJP'd. That would be fucking hilarious. Amateur Iconoclasts, they shouldn't have been pardoned. They didn't burn the Capitol building, and we shouldn't reward failure. Yes. You didn't get a pardon because you didn't do the job, chat. Sorry, guys. You didn't fix it. You didn't save the election, so you're going to be pardoned. Oh. Matthew Kidd says, will the defendants appeal or will the prosecution appeal? I don't think the DOJ is going to appeal unless Trump orders them to. But in the meantime, the defendants will appeal, and I'm sure the DOJ will be told, no, we don't oppose. They'll have to file a brief saying we agree with defendants on their actions. So, but it can happen. They have the right to appeal the decision. 10K view for $13.99 Canadian, chat. That's almost 14 loonies or 7 toonies. That's a lot of toonies. That's a lot of fucking toonies. Big old fucking coins too. Says best rant in a while. Thanks for this stream. Taka, what does it mean? I guess that's Scar's name in The Lion King. Like his actual name is Taka. So, MG Law, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. MG Law says, wouldn't the House impeach and the Senate convict and remove? I actually don't think the House can impeach the judge. I think it's the Senate since they're the ones who appoint them. Who impeaches a judge? Yeah, who impeaches a federal judge? Here, chat, we're going to work together on this. Oh, okay, yeah, the House impeaches him, the Senate removes him. Senate convicts him. Okay, yeah. Sorry. For some reason, I thought it was only the Senate since they're the ones who are involved in that. But anyways, chat, there you go. You learned something new today. Because I didn't know the answer to that. So there you go. It is the House's job to impeach and the Senate to convict. Kurt has the House's sole power to impeach, con law fail. Yeah, but the judge is approved by the advice and consent of the Senate. So I figure like they're the ones who bring him into the world. They're the ones who can take him out. So impeach these nuts, Kurt. Kathy, your realtor in Jersey. Hi, Kathy. Haven't seen you in a little while. Hope you're doing well. God, hear the wind howling outside. Hope it's not this shitty in New Jersey. It's like freaking like 9 degrees out here. It sucks. Well, actually, this morning when I went to court, it was like -6, and I was like, oh. Says laughing so hard I can't breathe. Well, I'm glad. I hope we learned but I also hope we got to laugh as well. Philip Coggin says, Millie et al. Could still avoid testifying by claiming executive privilege. Theoretically, yes. Theoretically, yes. They could on some things. Millie was the officer in the dog mask. Changed my mind. I can't. Picademos is saying, anybody feel like the last 4 years and now have been like the movie Airplane plus plane, trains, and automobiles, plus Monty Python on the Holy Grail? Yes. Plus The Matrix and plus Johnny Mnemonic. Yes. It feels like it's all been just insane. Yes. You feel like yes, it does feel like you've been, it feels like this is, feels kind of like St. Elsewhere. It's like all of a sudden we're going to realize, wait, we were just a dream in the retarded kid's head. Red Fox Mad says, hi from the Steel Toe Morning Show. Well, hello, guys. And yes, say hi to Aaron M. Holt over at the Steel Toe Morning Show over here on YouTube. You can find him there every morning and during the night. M Towers. Good to see you, man. Remember, it's an M Tower. It's not an N Tower, but it's almost as good as an N Tower. Says, thank you for the super chat, by the way, for $20, saying, could Trump either fire or dismiss any of these judges for their objection? Nope. He can't do that. He cannot. Once the Senate has confirmed them, they either can only be removed through impeachment or retiring. He can't get rid of them. Can't get rid of them. Once they're on for life. Is there any way for the administration to purge the federal courts? I don't know if this is asked already. Hope is all well with you, PC and chat. Well, I'm doing great, and I think chat's doing good. So there is the one thing Trump could do is if he could get the House to and Congress to abolish, like the federal courts, like there are only so many Article 3 courts. Everything else, all the judicial, like the districts that are out there, those are all created by Judiciary Act, by Congress. Remember, we had that case where we talked about last week where Biden vetoed the act that would probably put in like 50 new judges over the next decade and create 50 new seats because Congress has to create them. So yes, tomorrow Congress could pass a bill saying they abolish the D.C. District Court and the D.C. Circuit Court. And Trump could sign off on that. Remember, they could pass a law tomorrow abolishing the Supreme Court except for the Chief Justice. All the other judges have been added on. All the other justices in the Supreme Court have been added on through Judiciary Acts. Only the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court is the one who's guaranteed. They can't get rid of him. They could wipe the slate clean with everybody else, though, tomorrow if they wanted to. So it could happen, chat. It could happen. So, you guys confuse MG law and MLS law. Well, both those guys are really good, really good. But I hope that answers your question. I hope that answers it. If it didn't, let me know. I'll keep track in the chat here. I'll keep track in the chat. Kitchen Knife Rescue has been a member for 13 months. Says, Destiny's a woman's name. Actually, to be fair, Jesse Lee Peterson, Destiny a good name. But yes, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Guys, we're going to watch him rescuing kitchen knives. I mean, pretty straightforward about what he does, but he does great work grinding on them knives, saving them. Been a member for 13 months. Thank you for the support, man. I appreciate it. And then Hutch, the Dirty Roofer, for 20 subs. Let's go, chat. Let's go. More H1 green visas. We're praying the gray away. We're doing everything we can, chat. You just ain't welcome here, chat. You grays, you ain't welcome. You ain't welcome no more. Become a green. That's my offer to you. I don't ask you to stand as a gray. You can also kneel as a green and, not tire yourself out. I only ask you kneel. Become a green. Thank you, Hunch, for the support and your generosity. Michael Stetson says commissioned officers can't be reduced in rank. Really? Too bad. Too fucking bad. I'm hoping there's other ways they can administratively fuck with him, and I'm sure there are. So hopefully that happens. Winston says, how do I get a full... Could Julian Assange get a full pardon? Yes. Trump could revise that and says, I give you a full and unconditional pardon. He could basically like override it and give him more. Like Biden could give somebody clemency and commute a sentence, and then Trump could pardon that person. And Trump could give them a conditional pardon. And then in 2029, like President Vance could then say, I'm giving you an unconditional pardon. I'm removing the conditions. Full and unconditional pardon. So you can always build on it. You just can't take away. Also, what was the name of the law tuber she get in touch with? How do you spell it? Not a law tuber. Shipwreck Crew is a Shipwreck Crew is an attorney who does a lot of work, and his name's William Shipley. He's a former federal prosecutor. There are a bunch of attorneys who did shit for the January 6th people, and you might just want to look around for them. But he is a pretty good attorney if you're looking for him. He is, if you're here, I'll show you his contact information here. This would be a thing to look at. Shipley Law Offices. Schedule a no-cost consultation today. He's been pretty busy dealing with all the January 6th guys, but if you do get in touch with him, nobody's ever said a bad thing about him. He's a good, hardworking guy. He'll be able to give you the advice you need. So, that's his name, Shipley Law Offices. He's out of Hawaii. It's HawaiiFederalCriminalDefense.com. So he's got a lot of experience. He was an assistant U.S. attorney for more than 20 years. He's been doing all kinds of stuff. The guy's been all about it. So definitely give him a look and take a look at what he does. He's been around forever, and he did really good for the January 6th people that he represented. So I would take a look at that. That's who I'd recommend that person talk to. Let me see here. Fractal Failure says no Fed posting. Well, yeah. Is it Fed posting if I don't talk about it? And Kathy, your realtor in Jersey. Hi, Kathy. Is a new member. Kathy, thank you for the support. I truly appreciate it. Don Shipley is a different dude. Yes. If Don Shipley's knocking on your door, you got bad problem. You got big fucking problems. You've been lying about being a Navy SEAL. So you don't want that. No. William Shipley, not Don Shipley. Could Trump transfer the federal judge to Alaska or Greenland? No. Nope. Can't do that. Yeah, Sir Fist says that's what happened with Scooter Libby. Yes, his sentence was commuted, then Trump gave him a pardon. Yeah, Scooter Libby got when he was involved in the whole Valerie Plame scandal. So yeah. Barnes hates Shipley for some reason because Shipley's a good fucking attorney. That's why. Summonable Trap says we're breaking the conditioning. Oh, yes, we are breaking the conditioning.
We know we're under attack. We know it. We're breaking the conditioning. We're coming for you, globalist. Coming for you. Coming for you. We know what you're doing. Rape, 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 rape.
Yes, we're just fired up, chat. We're just fired up. Oh. Don Shipley doesn't knock, he breaches. Yeah, that too. Clyde's got stolen valor? Why? What did Clyde do? Why does Clyde have stolen valor? Would I hire Barnes? No. Fuzzy Creature says, who is Shipley? William Shipley is one of the more prominent attorneys defending all the January 6 people. Don Shipley is a former Navy SEAL, and he goes out and chases down, like he goes out and confronts and calls people who are posing as Navy SEALs and calls them out for their stolen valor. So, his channel on YouTube is like former Buds 131 because that's a class he went through in the 80s. And yeah, he retired as a senior chief in the SEALs, and he busts stolen valor shitbags all the time. It's pretty hilarious. So, You ever seen that clip where someone overlaid a World Eater skin over Alex Jones? Yes. Or like him and Joe are like the guardsmen talking. Yes, those are fucking hilarious. Those are hilarious. The current scrawny day Alex is just weird. Yeah, well, he's done. Yeah, he's getting back there though. Hodor says, I got radicalized by the Donald on Reddit and have ever been here ever since. Yes. Oh. So let's see here. We got anything else over on Twitter? Nope. Twitter, there says there's 300 people on Twitter, and there ain't that 300 people. Like, come on, Elon. Quit making your ghosts show up. I know those ghosts are after my heart. Oh. I have one of the most entertaining backgrounds I've seen in quite some time. Well, thank you, Luke. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Aaron says, put the fries in the bag, for fuck's sake. What? I did put the fries in the bag. Oh. Potentially criminal. Oh, one of them is me. I have you opened in another tab. Yeah. Oh. Stacy's are ghosts. Those are dementors. Yes. Oh. Alex Jones's peak was Bohemian Grove. He's been downhill ever since. Yeah, you know, the Alex Jones's right jar is pretty full. Yes, they put the fries in the bag, and then I take them out of the bag, and then I eat them. Yes. Yes. Slew Prize says, I'm on both. Well, thank you for being there. I appreciate it. Oh. Let's see here. What else do we got? Well, guys, that's kind of it. That is kind of lay of the land. We will talk about the Biden pardons tomorrow on the show. I mean, we kind of need some stuff to talk about overall, just because it's and there's been a lot of action overall, just with what's going on. Hold on here. Let's see what else we got. We'll also go over the Nashville shooting. As far as some other things that have occurred. So that should be a lot of fun tomorrow night at 9:30 or 9:30 Eastern. What about extraditing Fauci to Russia? Yeah, no. As much as I hate Fauci, we're never doing that. We're never doing that. Britt Sablinski is fucking over John Chapman again in the Medal of Honor Museum. Yes, Philip, if you joined us on Locals, potentiallycriminal.locals.com, one of the exclusive streams over there, we covered the whole issue about the saga of Britt Sablinski and John Chapman, and how basically Britt Sablinski and the SEALs got awarded a fake Medal of Honor, basically because their account of what happens contradicts the actual filmed acts of heroism by John Chapman when he basically was a one-man band against 25 Al-Qaeda militants on Roberts Ridge, also known as Tucker Gar, during Operation Anaconda in early 2002. And what the main of the story is, the SEALs tried to keep him from getting a Medal of Honor because if John Chapman received the Medal of Honor, that meant the Navy SEALs left a man stranded on a battlefield, forced to fight to the death. That's what happened. And they don't want his story to be published in the Medal of Honor Museum as one of the 200 exhibits. So that's an entire saga. It's an entire fucked up saga. And it's really sad because John Chapman went out like a lion. That guy's, if you go on YouTube here, you can look for it. There was a CIA drone, like probably a Predator drone, a Reaper drone flying along, filmed him fighting it out with all those guys, just stacking bodies. So yeah, pretty interesting there. What guns did you have before the boating accident? Nice try. Send Fauci to Ukraine. That would be hilarious. Yes, one lady did refuse the pardon. One of the January 6th grannies is like, I'm ashamed of what I did. You know what? Fine. You don't have to take it. Be a moron. So, did Trump get taller back there? Yeah, he's just leaning up. He's kind of collapsing a little bit. Let's see here. My Anaconda don't want none. Yeah, well, Operation Anaconda is very interesting. My head looks huge compared to Trump's. That's because he's behind me by like 5.5, 6 feet. John Chapman was a genuine G. Yeah, he was. He was the GOAT. Demon's Wrath says, you covered this the other night, didn't you? Only skimmed the surface. Yeah, but we only covered it on locals. It's not really necessarily something that normally relates to this channel. But yeah, basically the SEALs abandoned a man on a hillside and while he was still alive, and he fought to the death against the Taliban because he was abandoned there. Yeah, for 14 hours, yeah. One of the Januaries, this guy's did get arrested, yes, by the feds for gun charges. And hopefully Trump steps in and pardons him for that too and just fucks the feds over because they're just a bunch of little bitches. So, yeah, Jesse Ventura is still pretending he's a Navy SEAL. To be fair, the SEALs consider Jesse Ventura to be, he went through UDT school. So they don't actually consider him not to be. I mean, the UDTs got kind of folded into the SEALs after a while and absorbed into it. So they don't really consider him not to be. Your wall art still looks crooked. I know. I got to have to reset it. Not all SEALs consider him a SEAL. Well, the people who are in charge consider him a SEAL. The people who run the organizations consider him a SEAL. So that's, that's all that matters. Did I see Runkle beat out Fat Electrician at the Gundies? Yes. Guys, congratulations to Runkle the Bailey for winning the Gundies for, hot new content creator, entertaining creator of the year or something, or like, I don't know. I it's something like that. But yes, he did win, resoundingly. So congratulate Runkle on that. He did a great job there. He did a great job. Bunkle of the Rail King. The Gunties? No, the Gundies. The Gundies, like Jeff Van Gundy. It's about, it's about awards for like in the firearms community and all that and Second Amendment related community. So like they have like people, doing great work and doing great content, and Runkle won for content this year. So, when are you doing the Richard Allen filing? This weekend probably. I don't know. We're running out of time, chat. So much shit's happening, but we will do it. We will do it. If the Gunties were a thing, Ralph would have made himself a trophy. Yes. Yes. World famous Kill Stream Invitational. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yes. Yes. Okay, let's see here. What else we got? I'm trying to see what we got here. Let's see. Yes, Ethan Ralph was named in the Nashville Shooters Manifesto. Yes. He was named in there, so was Destiny. So that's a lot of people. A lot of people were named. Mr. Beast was named in it, which is hilarious. But yes, guys, Runkle's a great guy. I love him. He's a friend of the show as well. He's a good guy. Him and I have been I need to reach out to him. I need to have more guests on. I haven't done it for a while. I need to have more people on. And like, I always feel like, are you saying something, babe? Oh, you're talking to Clyde? Okay, I thought you were talking to me. So here, I always think to have people on, but I always feel like I'm imposing on people. When I say, hey man, come on if you want to, like, I always kind of feel like, I'm a burden to people. And I feel like I'm, I don't know. I always feel weird about asking for people to come on. So I feel like I'm imposing unfairly on people. But yeah, Runkle's a great friend of the show, great guy. And yeah, I need to have him on again soon. You need to have PPP on. You brought Clyde on as a guest. It works. Yes. Winston says, what is your opinion of Chris Kyle? He was a fucking liar. He lied about, shouldn't have died. He was murdered, not fairly. I mean, that was wrong, but he lied about a lot of fucking things. And then he started a lawsuit against Jesse he defamed Jesse Ventura and then forced his wife to defend it because he's a fucking asshole and just wouldn't admit he was wrong. So that's what you could say about him, We must A-log the racket stream. Guys, don't touch the cows. Leave Nick alone. Leave Nick alone. Detail says you can go on any stream, no question. Yeah, I mean, well, that's a thing. Like, I never ever want to be seen as a guy saying I want to go on people's things. I'd love to be on with everybody, but also I feel more of like, let's say you were a creator, Detail. Even if you only had like 5 subs, I would feel like I'm imposing on you if I asked you. So, like, that's why, like, when I talk about having, like, Josh on or Runkle on or Fudbusters on, I mean, really anybody. I mean, like, all the way up to, like, Emily Baker. Like, I don't care who it is. It could be somebody, like I said, with, like, 2 subs. I feel like I'm imposing on people. I don't feel comfortable with that. I feel like I'm unfairly being a burden to people by asking them. So... panel with me, Runkle, and Fudbusters to make fun of the lawsuit. I might. That is something I've thought about proposing to the 2 of them. See if they want to do it. The authorized Jay says, "Are you playing any video games at the moment?" Yes, I've been playing Ready or Not. Been playing a lot of that. I did realize apparently you're supposed to play with the mods because I've been having a tough time because the AI is so fucking hard in that game. Like, it's great because they actually hunt you down and they fight, but like they have lightning fast reflexes. Haven't been playing that as much a lot. Like, I haven't played Squad late. Like, I played Squad over the weekend, probably for like an hour, but I haven't played a ton of games lately. I've been really fucking busy, between this and everything else and doing models. I haven't played a whole lot of computer games or video games at all. And also Ready or Not has a big update. It's like 40 gigs and I'm running out of room. So I'm going to have to install a new hard drive in my computer coming up. So, and apparently there's been some like super hot deals of like, 6-7 terabytes for like $200 I got to find. Aaron says, I like collaborations. Yes. People, yes. I don't like calling it collaborating because, when you're collaborating, you're like, the Jews are upstairs. Like, I don't like doing that. I hate that word. Oh. American Sniper is still a good movie. Yeah, it's an okay movie. But yes, there's the man we know, and then, later we learned about, so. Is Reef and Ralph really mentioned the manifesto? Yes, 100% he is. Destiny's really in there. Hassan Piker's in there. Mr. Beast is in there. There are a lot of fucking people in this it's a shit posting one. It's a shit posting manifesto. It's fucking hilarious. And we're going to go through it. Get on Pisco's stream. He's going to need a new co-host. Yeah, well. Yo, buddy. Oh, buddy. Yeah, it's going to be, they're like the amount of people who just like their world just fucking imploded because Destiny did all this shit. I do feel bad for, like, you're working with this guy and he literally fucking throws a bomb in the middle of what you're doing. That does have to suck. That really would. That would really be awful. I'll watch Meme EFAP the Racket stream. Yeah, and I need to link up with Meme. We need to figure out a time where we could both be on. Angela says you're not burdened, and I understand that, and I appreciate that. It's just I've always been. I guess I've really just always been that way, just in general. It's. But like, yeah, in something like this, asking people to come on, I just always like, you're coming to them almost kind of like I never want to be seen as like pushy or whiny about it, and I always just feel like I always want to make sure I'm never that guy. So, I need to be unburdened by what has been. Yes. Obscure destinations outdoors. Hey, Ron, and hi, Tony. Shit, we could use you to impose on our show. Well, you know what? One of these mornings, I'm gonna have to figure out what time you guys are on. We'll set up a morning. I'll come on and hang out. Guys, they're over Obscure Destinations Outdoors over on YouTube, guys. Check them out. They have all kinds of neat stuff with all the critters on their farms. Guys, it's Ron and Tony. You helped them out with their issues they had with one of their drainage ponds, trying to get that all squared away after the hurricane. So you guys can give them a look over here on YouTube. Green Top says, I've been pulled into Hell Let Loose, and I cannot escape it. Yes. Hell Let Loose is one of the ones I do want to get into. I've also heard Enlisted is really good. I mean, there's a bunch of things I want to get into, Squad AI is really bad. I've never played Squad with anything but people, so yeah, Squad is so much fun. One of the games I do want to play coming up, though, because I've seen some people play, is called Warno. It's a Cold War thing, but there's also a game called Regiments. It's kind of like an RTS, but it's a very tactical-based RTS for the Cold War. And like, it looks super fucking cool. I really want to play it. I just got to find some time for it. Also coming out is Metal Gear Solid 3 remake Delta. That looks, oh my god, that looks just so mwah. Looks so good. Looks so good. You just finished Assassin's Creed Mirage? Okay. Been having funny with Smite 2. No Managing Democracy and Helldivers 2. I have not played Helldivers 2 in a while. I started playing it when it first came out, and I kind of just got sidetracked. I did love it. It was a lot of fun. It's fucking tough at times, especially when you're lower ranked. Would I ever consider doing video game streams? I've thought about it. I got to figure out how to set those up and effectively do them. But yes, we could try them. We'd probably do them on Twitch. Just so I don't ruin the algorithm completely here. Distance says Ready or Not versus Body Cam. Body Cam looks like a lot of fun. I just haven't gotten around to like buying it or looking at it. And also, I literally am out of room on my computer. I'm now just using it for work right this second. So I got to find a good hard drive, solid state. Jeff would tell you to do more collaborative stuff. I know he would. And I need to do that. Chat demands a Sean and Kirsha collab. Well, Kirsha talked to me about, like, she's like, I want to talk about Brian Kohberger and stuff like that. And she's like, when does he go to trial? And I'm like, probably not till like the end of 2025, maybe 2026. And this is almost like a year ago now. And she's like, oh. And I'm like, yeah, it's not anytime soon. She's like, oh, well, that sucks. And I said, if there's any other trials and stuff like that, I'd be happy to talk to you about it. And I've messaged her a couple of times, and if you guys do talk to her, push for it, get their attention too about what you want them to cover. If you want me and her to do stuff, let's get to it. There's got to be some organicness to this too, chat. Tell them they need to know what the people want. What's that? Yeah. Just don't be fucking don't pull a J-Rock, chat, to get something set up. How about interdisciplinary? Do you like that work? Oh. Is Nick mentioned? No. Is Fuentes in there? I think he's mentioned in there too. Yeah. Not that he's relevant at all. Yeah, but he's a glowy though. What is it, the name of the manifesto? I want to read it. Is it from the trans shooting in Nashville? No, if you go to, hold on here, let me see if I can find it. There is, if you go on the farms, it's available. But there's other places, but we're not talking about the Troon manifesto. Another kid in Tennessee did a school shooting, a black kid did. And he basically made his own version of death sentences by Matthew Harris. So that's what it is. What's that? Yes, I think so. I think I did retweet it, chat. Unauthorized Jay says, have you looked into the JFKRP situation? Yes, but there's not a whole lot to talk about because he hasn't been charged. Like, I do think it's only fair in that situation. No case has happened yet, but when he does get charged, oh, buddy, we are going to talk about the potato masher. Yes, the potato, the masher de pommes. We will definitely do that. He is a neuroscientist. Yes, we. I'm only a bird in elevators. Well, I mean, I'm still so sorry for what I did to your mom's bed. You know, like I thought she had a good box spring. I'm so sorry about that, J Rock. Let's see here. Well, I'm a couple minutes behind chat. I got to skip ahead here. Just do a stream of Kira should have covered something in retrospect. Yeah, I'd love to do that too. Need to reach out to her. I've been just been busy. Time goes, man. Time goes. There's a CNN defamation trial. There's this trial in West Virginia with this pharmacist who's been accused of, she was accused of like murder. Like there's all kinds of stuff out there. I could collab with Smash JT again. Yeah, but I think we need to wait until Alyssa Mercani brings up their response because she has to file an answer to the lawsuit. So right now it's kind of like not a whole lot to talk about, but definitely we'll do that soon. A cultured kid went a blasting. Yes, he did. He was very cultured. A man of high culture. Yes, JF took money from Epstein. I've heard that as well. So, Kirsten's also bad about responding to DMs. So is that too? Well, no, the last time I talked to her, we had already done stuff. What happened to the Toes plea today? I've been fucking busy, guys. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to look. I've been busy, chat. Winston is saying, how you doing, Winston? Saying the leftist law clerks were crying as they drafted these orders. Oh, I'm sure. Suffer. Although, you know, when you're clerking for a DC judge, you're probably going to have a better job than I'll ever have and, you know, make more money as an attorney than I ever will. So it's like, I'll suffer. Suffer, Sean. Suffer. Sassy Frass says, hello. Hi, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. New face. It's hard to tell, though, because you got your profile pic's a blizzard. Says, just saw you live. Thank you for covering the story about January 6th. I've been watching them stream at the DC jail. Thank you again. Well, you're very welcome. Thank you for being here. Thanks for the super chat. M Towers with another not so smart question. Your last question was pretty smart. Don't apologize for that. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Could Congress just delete all the federal districts and circuit courts? Yeah. And replace them as his? Yes. And then allow the president to appoint new judges? Yes. They literally could wipe the slate clean. And if they did that, Trump would be appointing every circuit court judge, every district court judge. And then he'd be appointing 8 Supreme Court justices. They could do that. They could do that if they wanted to. And if they set it up that way, Trump would literally be reestablishing the judiciary. And then there's all kinds of other courts, the Court of Claims. There's all different, like there's a million courts that require appointment to. Like there's all kinds of shit Trump could do, guys. If but that's not going to happen. But that could. Like literally that's how it's all set. Abolishing the Judiciary Act. All those judges, get the fuck out and go home. You're all retired now. Learn to code. That could happen. Won't happen, though. Won't happen. Trump he'd be like, you're not redeemed. I don't redeem any of you. Do not redeem, sir. And then he starts up brand new. He could do that. It could happen, but it won't. It won't. But it could. Technically, yes. So that's not a dumb question. It's a very good question. A very, very good question. Fuzzy Creature says, why would the justices go away? Because if you read, we're going to read Article 3 of the Constitution here. Okay. So the Supreme Court, the way this is set up here, here's how this works. Article 3. The judicial power of the United States shall be vested in one Supreme Court. Okay. Well, how many people are on the Supreme Court? Well, there was only one, the Chief Justice. There were judiciary acts passed in the 1790s. Like, they had to pass judiciary acts. I believe 1789 was a Judiciary Act. And they had to put justices on the Supreme Court. They need associate justices. And then in such inferior courts as Congress may establish from time to time to ordain and establish. So Congress does every other court but the Supreme Court. This is the only one that survives on its own, and the only guy who survives is the Chief Justice. Every other court is an Article 3 court. So, yes, they reign supreme, Judge Ida. Make Mao and Free Phase mods already. No, never, never, never. The feds are doing operations in East Boston. Well, they're always doing stuff there. Sky Queen is saying, no one is mentioning the incoming administration can send away Fed prosecutors and pick new ones. Yes. Every United States attorney, there's 93 of them. There's 93 U.S. attorneys. There's 93 federal district courts. The president can demand all their resignations tomorrow and fire them and appoint new ones. So the Supreme Justice used to write circuit. Well, technically they kind of do still. That's why, like, when you appeal up things, like Joe had to send his appeal to Sotomayor, like, you still have justices writing circuit in a way, kind of. Like, they have circuits they supervise. It's not like the old way of writing circuit, yes, but they kind of still do. No justice, no please, sir. Oh. Congress has power to change the boundaries of the D.C. circuit and move the buildings to West Virginia. Yeah, they could do whatever the fuck they want. They could do whatever they want to with that court. Congress needs to repeal D.C.'s home rule. Yeah, they do, but that's not going to happen. The Republicans threaten no recess now until every appointee is confirmed. I saw earlier. I didn't see any of that. So, bring back dueling. That would be very interesting watching that happen. So. Oh, Anna says, y'all hating shit on my city. Well, it's not you, but the people running your city haven't done a good job at running it. So send a super chat to Aaron when he got in a plea. He'll answer anything for $1. Well, I'm busy here, guys. Oh. So let's see here. McLovin saying over on Twitter or on Rumble, Alone at Dark is a great book. Alone at Dawn is a great book. Yeah. Alone at Dawn is a story about John Chapman, and it's if you watch the video of John Chapman, like I said, chat, just go into YouTube and type in John Chapman Medal of Honor. It's narrated, but it's fucking harrowing. Like, you watch it and it's like it feels like you're watching a movie. You're like, there's no way this happened like that, but it did. It exactly happened the way you're looking at it. So it's the first time they've ever captured the Medal of Honor, like, on camera, like the act itself. So let me see here. Jarek said, I said someone. Pretty high opinion of you yourself there, Sean. I think I was asking you. Yeah. All right, chat. All right, guys. So that is it for tonight. I'm unburdened by what has been. I'm unburdened by what can be. Yes. Eric says, what was his name again? John Chapman? Yes, his name was John Chapman. Pretty intense stuff. Yeah, it's not graphic, chat. It's not graphic, but there's thermal in it. But it's also, remember, it's thermal from 2002, but it's also been degraded, because obviously the CIA is not going to display its true abilities, even for old stuff. But yeah, it's really, you can watch the guy put in work. It's like watching a video game. So, well, that said, chat, remember, the federal judges, they couldn't put the fries in the bag today. They had their chance. Simple job. Put the fries in the bag, and they wanted to give us a lecture. So, you know, just because you did it doesn't mean you can put the fries in the bag. Just because you did it does not mean you're guilty. And then if your judge is going to scream and re at you, that's going to happen, I guess. And you have to suffer, I guess. So, congrats to all the recipients of the pardons. I still hope you pursue, if you got a dismissal without prejudice, I hope you pursue an appeal and spank these assholes for being self-righteous pricks. So with that said, tomorrow night, chat, we will be doing the normal show at 9:30. Got a lot to talk about. And I will see you guys then. So just remember to take care, you guys. Enjoy yourselves. And I will see you tomorrow. Yes, we are so close to 25K. We're there, chat. 24,838. We're getting there. We're getting there, though. We're getting there, though. So, good night, chat. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes, esoteric works, and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting, and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops, even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty, but please talk to a local attorney. Was that the fat guy Rick Hayden yelled at? Why, yes it was, he even knows he's fat. For all this fun and more, there's one place to go, here on Sean Martin's Potential